Welcome friends. This video is part of Ethics Integrity and Aptitude series. In this video, let's look at the essence of ethics, that is intrinsic properties of ethics. Before going into the essence, now let's look at what are the ethics and why should we study ethics. Okay, so ethics tries to provide answer to various philosophical questions. These include how to live a good life and what are our rights and responsibility to our society, to our organization, to a profession, or to the nation, and what are the rights and wrongs of the society, and what are the moral decisions, what is a good decision and what is a bad decision. These questions are answered by the ethics, so we need to study ethics for leading a dignified life, a just life. Okay, so now let's look at the what are the essence of ethics. Before moving further, I would like to clarify what is not ethics rather than what is ethics. So ethics is not morality. In my previous video, I have discussed about the difference between ethics and morality and the conflict between ethics and individual morality in certain situations. So please watch the same. You'd come to know about that ethics is not morality. And second point is that ethics is not about religion. Even though almost all the religions of the world has highest ethical standards, ethics is not about following a particular religion, because there are a lot of people who does not believe in any religion, but at the same time they follow certain ethical standards. So ethics is not confined to a religion or all the religion. So at the same time, certain religious customs are unethical in nature. For example, untouchability and caste discrimination in Hindu system, and the discrimination against women, and triple talaq, that is the procedure for conveying divorce by the husband to the woman, to the wife in Islam. These are not ethical per se. So religion is not about ethics, and ethics is not following the law religiously. So there are a lot of laws which are unethical in nature and which are narrower than that of the ethical standards. For example, the laws formulated during the Hitler regime were unethical in nature. They were discriminatory against the Jews of the society. Jews were killed in the concentration camps during his regime by formulating various laws. So ethics is not following a particular law. It is above all the laws of the world. Okay, and during the British period, the laws were formulated for the exploitation of the country's natural resources, for the betterment of the Britons rather than that of the Indians. So ethics is not following law. Even though in the present days almost all the laws, rules, regulations are in conformity with ethics, it is not equivalent to the ethics. Ethics is above all the laws, and all the laws, rules, regulations, codes and conducts has to be in conformity with the natural law called ethics. Okay, and the fourth thing is that ethics is not following the social customs, social standards. I would like to give examples to these things. The social standards of Hindu system, for example, the caste discrimination, untouchability, these are followed by almost all people in the villages, even the present day. So these are social standards per se, but these are not ethical. And similarly, female feticide, male preferences in a patriarchal society like India, male preferences rather than that of females. Okay, and caste discrimination during the Hitler regime, the whole society itself was corrupt. The whole society was discriminatory against the Jews. Okay, so not the only the regime, the whole people, the whole society itself was discriminatory. So the social standards need not be ethical all the time. Okay, and another example is that of the United States during the pre-World War situation, Second World War situation, the racial discrimination against the blacks there, the whole society was discriminating against the blacks there. So these are all the examples for the not all the social standards are ethical in nature. Now let's look at the essence or intrinsic properties of ethics. First property is that ethics is not sustained in isolation. So ethics has to be seen in the background of a particular culture, a particular profession, a particular society, a particular nation, a particular organization, so particular environment. So these are the things which has to be kept in mind while studying ethics and while analyzing the ethical standards. And second thing is that Ethics is part of culture, and ethical standards for a particular culture may be different from that of the other culture. For example, I would like to give a classic example for this. In Arctic, the Eskimos were living. Okay, Eskimos. These Eskimos, they have the practice of killing the elderly people, too old people, because of conserving the resources for the future generations. Because the Arctic environment is as various scarcity for various natural resources. To conserve them, they leave the older people in the freezing climatic conditions to die for themselves. So here it is totally ethical to leave the older people in the open environment to die for themselves, rather than feeding them. Because if you goes on feed all the old people, unproductive people, then all the resources got consumed, and resources are not available for the young children. So this is a the environmental mechanism for the sustainment of the society itself. So it has to be seen from that environment situation perspective. Okay, so ethics is not universal. Okay, it has to be seen from these backgrounds. And there, Eskimos, it is totally ethical. If you look this situation from Indian perspective, it is totally unethical, the grossly unethical. Okay, so third point is that ethics is situational. It depends on the context. I would like to give example for this. So we have professional ethics. Each profession has their own ethical standards. For example, doctors, the main aim of the doctor is to save the life, no matter what, even the enemy's life. Okay, enemy's life should be saved by the doctor according to the Hippocratic oath taken by them during their profession. And the soldier, for a soldier, the professional ethic is to protect the country, no matter what, even the killing the enemy. So here, if you compare the ethical standards of these two professions, one profession saves the life, even the enemy's life. Another profession saves the lives, but at the cost of even enemies' lives. Okay, so this is the major difference. It has to be seen from situation and a particular context. Okay, and the fourth point is that ethics operates at different levels. For example, ethics operates at the individual level, organization level, professional level, national level, international level. So at the international level, the ethics operates in various levels. For example, the ethical standard for the conducting diplomacy, ethical standard for conducting war, ethical standard for to be followed by the donor agencies. For example, various donor agencies follow ethical standards. They provide financial assistance to the least developed countries, but they follow certain standards where they do not give money to regimes which are involved in the genocide against the minorities, or genocide against certain religious communities, or which encourages the child labor system. So these are the ethical norms which are operates at individual level. Next is ethics is subjective. Okay, ethics is subjective. It is not objective. It depends on the culture, situation, environment. I have given a lot of examples in my previous slide. And the next point is that ethics is interrelated. Ethics is interrelated. So we have various ethical standards. For example, the environmental ethics is related to the corporate ethics. Environmental ethics provides that the environment should be available to all the living beings, including all the animals and plants, not for only the human beings. Here, that is related to the corporate ethics. Corporate ethics has the approach called stakeholder approach, where the client, the buyer, the shareholders, the citizens, the environment should be protected while conducting business. So the protecting the environment is also related to the corporate ethics along with the environmental ethics. So this is related to the political ethics, where everything should be seen without discrimination. Everybody should be given equal opportunity, even the least privileged as well. And also at the same time, the environment should be conserved in doing while performing these functions. So all the ethical standards are interrelated from one another. And the next point is that not always the ethics leads to desirable consequences. There are undesirable consequences from ethics as well. So ethics includes a lot of dilemmas. Ethics is not clear as you thought. Okay, I would like to give an hypothetical situation here. If you have the chance to save a life, only one life, from two lives, one is the great scientist who has contributed a lot to the society and is going to contribute a lot to the society in future if you save his life, or the life of a child who has not known anything, okay, who has a lot of years to live. So if you have the chance to save the life of any one person among these, which one would you prefer? Would you prefer saving the life of a scientist so that he can contribute more to the society for the betterment of the society, or would you prefer to save the life of a child because the child is innocent? Okay, and what are your criteria? What are the basis for saving the life? Either the contribution to the society, or intelligence, or the age of that individual. So what is your criteria? Please convey your opinion in the comment section below. I would like to know the answer for this. Which one would you prefer, and why would you prefer to save the life, either of a scientist or of a baby? So this is ethics always involves dilemma. So this is the thing. And ethics is related to interaction with non-human components as well. We have environmental ethics, okay, bioethics. Okay, these are all related to non-human components. Environmental ethics deals with the conservation of nature, for providing the equal opportunity for all the living beings. Bioethics deals with employing various techniques without harming the living beings. For example, recently India banned the application of cosmetics to the animals while testing. Okay, this is one of the bioethics. So ethics is related to interaction with non-human components. And origin of ethics is justice. This is the foundation of ethics. Origin of ethics is justice. Providing justice is the main aim of ethics. Okay, and next point is that ethics is maintained by sense of responsibility rather than accountability. Here responsibility is related to individual, okay, individual, without any external interference. So without any force, without any external pressure, it is your responsibility to follow ethical standards. So accountability involves a coercion or involves a watch from outside. So ethics is for maintaining responsibility, sense of responsibility. Okay, and ethics transcend the narrow law, rule book, code of conduct, and regulations. Even though all the laws, rule book, code of conduct are ethical in nature, but ethics transcend all these narrow laws, rule books, and code of conduct and regulations. So all these mortal laws, rules, rule books, code of conduct has to be in conformity with the natural law. Ethics is called the natural law. So this has to be in conformity with the natural law while formulating these things. So these are all the things I would like to explain. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. This is my Facebook page. Please visit that and like the page for more updates. Thanks for watching.